Hello, hello. Welcome to day 6 of our self-belief building, self-confidence building, and faith building challenge. And the challenge is to read chapter 4 of, Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich. It always makes me laugh while the book disappears because of the virtual background. So chapter 4, auto suggestion of Think and Grow Rich. And I usually start by just reminding us of the basis for reading chapter 4, auto-suggestion. Scripture always tells us that it is done to you according to your faith, according to your belief. And chapter 3 of Think and Grow Rich, which is on faith, says that faith is a state of mind which may be induced or created by affirmation or repeated instructions to the subconscious mind through the principle of auto-suggestion. And it goes on to say, repetition of affirmation of orders to your subconscious mind is the only known method of the voluntary development of the emotion of faith. So in trying to build faith and self-belief and confidence as well, we've been given the challenge to read chapter 4, auto-suggestion, for 30 days in September 2024. So this is day 6 of this challenge. So I jump right in. Chapter 4, auto-suggestion, the medium for influencing the subconscious mind, the third step toward riches. And I also think that, I've read this now for 5 days. This is the 6th day. But if anything jumps out to me, I will stop the reading and just speak on that. But I'll try to reduce that because I just want to, get myself reading this and not talk too much on what I pull up. But if anything stops me, I shall just flow as the Spirit leads, as I say. Okay, so chapter 4, auto-suggestion, the medium for influencing the subconscious mind, the third step toward riches. Auto-suggestion is a term which applies to all suggestions and all self-administered stimuli which reach one's mind through the 5 senses. Stated in another way, auto-suggestion is self-suggestion. It is the agency of communication between that part of the mind where conscious thought takes place and that which serves as the seat of action for the subconscious mind. Through the dominating thoughts which one permits to remain in the conscious mind, whether these thoughts be negative or positive is immaterial. The principle of auto-suggestion voluntarily reaches the subconscious mind and influences it with these thoughts. No thought, whether it be negative or positive, can enter the subconscious mind without the aid of the principle of auto-suggestion, with the exception of thoughts picked up from the ether. Stated differently, all sense impressions which are perceived through the 5 senses are stopped by the conscious thinking mind and may be either passed on to the subconscious mind or rejected at will. The conscious faculty serves, therefore, as an outer guard to the approach of the subconscious. Nature has so built man that he has absolute control over the material which reaches his subconscious mind through his 5 senses, although this is not meant to be constructed as a statement that man always exercises this control. In the great majority of instances, he does not exercise it, which explains why so many people go through life in poverty. Recall what has been said about the subconscious mind resembling a fertile garden spot, in which weeds will grow in abundance if the seeds of more desirable crops are not sown therein. Auto-suggestion is the agency of control through which an individual may voluntarily feed his subconscious mind on thoughts of a creative nature, or by neglect, permit thoughts of a destructive nature to find their way into this rich garden of the mind. You were instructed in the last of the 6 steps described in the chapter on desire to read aloud twice daily the written statement of your desire for money and to see and feel yourself already in possession of the money. By following these instructions, you communicate the object of your desire directly to your subconscious mind in a spirit of absolute faith. Through repetition of this procedure, you voluntarily create thought habits which are favorable to your effort to transmute desire into its monetary equivalent. So like I said, if I'm kind of moved to, say something about this. So it says that in the last of the six steps described in chapter on desire, we were instructed to read aloud twice daily. So maybe on waking and just before you go to sleep, your written statement of your desire for money, and to see and feel yourself already in possession of that money. So if you were a student of Bob Proctor, I consider myself a lifelong student because I keep going back to watch his videos. We have a gold card. So I have a gold card. I got it from the Napoleon Hill Institute. Kind of bastardized the card, but still does it what it does. At the back is my goal. And it's in a place where I see it very clearly. And I have here, I am so happy and grateful now that this is where I put in my goal. I obviously don't want to share my goal because that's the nature of it. It's for me. So, but I start with, I am so happy and grateful now that, because I am saying it that I have it in the present, but it's one thing to say it, say it aloud, the written statement, which is on my goal card, and see and feel myself already in possession of that money. So when I read my goal card, I read it. It also says, by following these instructions, you communicate the object of your desire directly to your subconscious mind in a spirit of absolute faith. So when I'm reading my goal card aloud to myself, I hear myself speaking these words, and I see myself holding the amount of money that I have just read out. So where I'm saying, I am so happy and grateful now that I have that, I am, like my eyes are closed and I am seeing myself having that amount of money, using that amount of money, investing that money, saving that money, sharing that money, basically enjoying life with that money. There's so many colors of meaning enjoyment has for me. So I see myself living the life that this goal is bringing to me. Through repetition of this procedure, you voluntarily create thought habits which are favorable to your effort to transmit desire into monetary equivalent. So by reading this morning and evening, believe me, if you can read it more, it's best, because the idea is to create thought habits which are favorable to your efforts. What I find is that since I started this, one thing is I've just been conscious of the things I'm thinking. I'm being conscious of how I'm feeling. I'm, just really catching, I'm just an observer of my life, observer of my thoughts right now. I'm noting things that make me in a good mood, put me in a good mood, and things that kind of just turn me up, kind of bring my mood down, or rather suck away my energy. I'm observing all these things. So I'm becoming more aware of things that since like things I give power to, the ways I give away my power and let things control my mood. And so when I notice those things, I pick up my goal card and I do this exercise. I read my goal card and I see myself with that amount of money. I see myself being that person who has that amount of money, I see myself rendering the service, because you have to see yourself doing the service that brings that money. And even where the plan is not there, I see myself doing those things. I see myself enjoying the products of my effort. It totally changes my mood. Totally changes my mood. And this time I don't let myself get too worked up. I just think about it. Think about my goal and how I'm living the life. We continue reading. So it says, go back to these 6 steps described in chapter 2 and read them again very carefully before you proceed further. Then when you come to it, read very carefully the 4 instructions for organization of your mastermind group described in the chapter on organized planning. By comparing these 2 sets of instructions with that which has been stated on autosuggestion, you of course will see that the instructions involve the application of the principle of autosuggestion. Remember, therefore, when reading aloud the statement of your desire, through which you are endeavoring to develop a money consciousness, because that's the whole point, that the mere reading of the words is of no consequence unless you mix emotion or feelings with your word. It says if you repeat 1,000,000 times the famous Emile Couillet formula, day by day, in every way, I'm getting better and better, without mixing emotion and faith with your words, you will experience no desirable results. Your subconscious mind recognizes and acts upon only thoughts which have been well mixed with emotion or feeling. Again, I'm stopping here. So when I read my goal card, I see myself giving the service that will give me the goal, that will give me the amount of money I am working toward. So I have to be a certain type of person. So I see myself, how do I dress? How do I talk? How do I walk? Who are the people that I am doing business with? What circles do I find myself? And in seeing myself in these circles, it's kind of building a very rich image in my head. And with that, because you're with people, you're smiling, you're communicating, you're just being aware of your body language, you're really getting into that character who achieves this goal. And in doing that, you can see that there's emotion involved because you're pulling on things from the inside, really enjoying, and if you're really enjoying it, you are. So I see myself, I love to give gifts. I see myself giving gifts of what I have made. I see myself making money. I absolutely love making money. I love profit. So whenever I'm hearing those cha-ching in my account, like today, I made some money today. So as I bring profit in, I bring money in, it does bring some bubbly joy into my heart. So I love to experience that. So even if I didn't make any money, today I did, so I'm going to hang on to that feeling of me making profit today. I remember days like this, and it causes me to smile. And with that smile, there's gratitude, and it's building confidence in me, telling me that I can do it. It's building the self-belief in me, telling me I can do it. And ultimately, it's building faith, because I know that God is on my side. He's showing me every day that he has empowered me. The scripture says somewhere that he gives me the power to create wealth. And where I am, profit means that I take a certain amount of money and multiply it. I'm looking forward to a time when I can 10x what I have, and 100x what I have, and 1000x what I have. And that is the power to create wealth. So any way that I can see that I am multiplying anything that I have shows me that I am here to expand the world. Puts faith in God, faith in me, and faith in me because God is empowering me. So just acting all that drama in my head is helping, is building the confidence, the faith, the belief. Yeah, and it's almost like showing you a video of how you have done it. Of course, we know it doesn't have to happen exactly that way, but you find something to relish in. I call it, you start living in your fantasy island. Anyway, let's not digress too much. Let's keep reading. This is a fact of such importance as to warrant repetition in practically every chapter, because the lack of understanding of this is the main reason the majority of people who try to apply the principle of autosuggestion get no desirable results. Plain, unemotional words do not influence the subconscious mind. You will get no appreciable results until you learn to reach your subconscious mind with thoughts or spoken words which have been well emotionalized with belief. Do not become discouraged. If you cannot control and direct your emotion the first time you try to do so, remember, there is no such possibility as something for nothing. Ability to reach and influence your subconscious mind has its price, and you must pay that price. You cannot cheat, even if you desire to do so. The price of ability to influence your subconscious mind is everlasting persistence in applying the principles described here. You cannot develop a desired ability for a lower price. You and you alone must decide whether or not the reward for which you are striving, money consciousness, is what the price you must pay for it in effort. And the effort being mentioned here is hardly an effort, but if you're not used to it, it will take some effort because it needs you to pull away from the busy life. Sorry, I'm not reading anymore. It needs you to pull away from the busy life and sit with yourself, look within, eyes closed, quiet environment. Sometimes that is a struggle to even pull yourself out of the busyness. But if you do, that's the price that must be paid. And you tell yourself, we can't get something for nothing. So this something that we're giving, I think it's nothing, but it is something. Because in doing those faith building exercises of seeing yourself, having your goal, seeing yourself in scenes and scenarios where you are enjoying the benefits of your goal, and where you are loving and admiring the person you have become, person who has that goal, ideas come. Because when you think one thing, another thought comes in, you actually start seeing, maybe it causes you to change your wardrobe, because you might see how you're dressing in this new you, that's the way the new you now dresses. This causes you to start looking at the clothes you wear now, like, it quite fit the image that I'm trying to build. Next thing you know, you're giving clothes away. Next thing you know, you've opened up space in your wardrobe for new things to come in. And not just that, there might be a way that new you speaks, that new you walks. And not just that, you might even have a conversation with someone, a conversation you found a bit challenging to have in your present situation. You'd be having those conversations in the forward memory you, as what's her name, Mary Morrissey. I think it was Mary Morrissey and Bob that called it the forward memory. Was it just Mary Morrissey? I remember reading that, where instead of talking about a memory that had passed, they're talking about a forward memory. So it's kind of like what we're doing. So the new you in your forward memory has had conversations that you find challenging in your current reality. But in your future memory, you're having that conversation, you're handling it professionally, with heart, in an admirable way, and you get ideas from there, and you can rehearse it over and over again until it becomes part of you. And when it's now time to do it in the now, guess what? You've got the confidence. That's the whole idea. We go on again. Wisdom and cleverness alone will not attract and retain money, except in a few very rare instances where the law of averages favors the attraction of money through these sources. The method of attracting money described here does not depend upon the law of averages. Moreover, the method plays no favorites. It will work for one person as effectively as it will work for another. Where failure is experienced, it is the individual, not the method, which has failed. If you try and fail, make another effort, and still another until you succeed. Well, that part is clear. You know the goal you're going for. I have actually put a date on this, but I'll let you in on something. The date I put here has gone past. But I know that I plucked that date out of thin air. So I'm not hung up on that date. But I am willing to keep living in my fantasy land until my fantasy land becomes my everyday reality. I'm not about to give up. I'm not about to give up. Sometimes I hide in my fantasy land. Yes, I just sit there because it's an enjoyable place. I win every conversation. I don't call it argument. I win every conversation. So that is the perfect word for me. So if anybody annoys me here, trap, I leave you guys straight into my fantasy world. It's the world I created. It's all going my way. Okay, we continue reading. Your ability to use the principle of autosuggestion will depend very largely upon the capacity to concentrate upon a given desire until that desire becomes a burning obsession. When you begin to carry out the instructions in connection with the 6 steps described in the 2nd chapter, it will be necessary for you to make use of the principle of concentration. Let us here offer suggestions for the effective use of concentration. When you begin to carry out the first of the 6 steps, which instructs you to fix in your own mind the exact amount of money you desire, hold your thought on that amount of money by concentration or fixation of attention with your eyes closed until you can actually see the physical appearance of the money. Do this at least once each day. As you go through these exercises, follow the instructions given in the chapter on faith, and you see yourself actually in possession of the money. So apart from reading your desire for money, morning and evening, are being asked to also sit and concentrate on the amount of money you desire. So you see that money? Sometimes it doesn't come in one lump sum. Maybe a quarter comes in, and then a third comes in, and then another fraction comes in, over a number of days, and everything comes. And you just see them. They're coming in as, these days, I hardly receive checks these days. They're mostly credits into my account. So you just see all these credit balances, and credit alerts are not very common where I am. But it doesn't matter. I could even visualize credit alerts. I'm getting a ping, ping. You know what? When you think of it, NatWest does tell you that someone has paid money in. I quite like those notifications. So yeah, getting notification that half of the money has just come in. Do a bit of victory dance when that comes in. And then a quarter comes in, and a little bit more, and a little bit more. And just have a jig when you get that alert. Yeah. And just when the money is complete, you look at it. And then, because when we read our goal, we don't say exact amount, we say over. So if you wanted 50,000 pounds, you say, I'm so happy and grateful now that, for example, you earn over 50,000 pounds every month, by the end of September 2024. And you now say, by whatever service you want to render, however what you want to do. So if it's 50,000 pounds, you see, because you want it to be 50 or more, so maybe it's 70. Maybe it's 70. Why not? Yes, it's 70. The thing, I remember the self-confidence formula. It says, I know I have the ability to create the object of my definite purpose in life. So even where that amount may seem off, you're reminding yourself that you have the ability. God is working with me, for me. So I know that I will get that money. I know ideas will come. People will come to offer me opportunities. Opportunities will come from anywhere. Even watching TV can give you an aha moment. But I have the ability, because people have received inspiration from the wind and the air. I know that I have the ability. I am in the right place and the right time to receive the money, to receive the inspiration, to receive the contact, everything that is required to give me that amount of money that I am looking for. Yeah, man. So here is the most significant fact. The subconscious mind takes any orders given it in a spirit of absolute faith and acts upon those orders. And although the orders often have to be presented over and over again through repetition before they are interpreted by the subconscious mind. I didn't read that properly. I'll go over it again. Here is a most significant fact. The subconscious mind takes any orders given it in the spirit of absolute faith and acts upon these orders, although the orders often have to be presented over and over again through repetition before they are interpreted by the subconscious mind. Following the preceding statement, consider the possibility of playing a perfectly legitimate trick on your subconscious mind by making it believe, because you believe that you must have the amount of money you are visualizing, that this money is already awaiting your claim, that the subconscious mind must hand over to you practical plans for acquiring the money which is yours. Yes, I just said earlier that, when you read the self-confidence formula, which starts by saying, I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite chief aim in life. By saying you know you have the ability, means that where you have faith in God, where I have faith in God, I know that I am connected to God. There is no time or place where I'm not connected to God. So I know that I have the ability to receive those signals because I'm tuned to the frequency, because I'm making those prayers to be in the frequency. I'm in the frequency to hear from God, because scripture says that you will hear a voice tell you to go left or go right, which means I am someone, I'm one of those people who hear the voice of God. He will tell me to go right or to go left, and I will hear that voice and I will be told where to go and what to do. So I am able to get inspiration. I am able to be directed. I hear from spirit. So I have full faith and confidence that I hear from spirit because God is for me. And because of that, everything that needs to move to get me to become the person I need to be, to have what I want to have, I am able to change as drastically and as, in a big way or in a small way as I need to change to become that person who has everything that I want. And because I believe it, my subconscious mind believes it. So you could call it, as it says here, the possibility of playing a perfectly legitimate trick on my subconscious mind by making it believe. Because where I am now, I totally believe that the person I'm becoming is inevitable. I'm absolutely heading there. I don't know the channel or the process, but every day I'm constructing, I'm, pulling out strands of who that person is. I'm defining her, constantly changing my hair to see what hairstyle will she like. I kind of like this one though. I like this one. Do you see I like this hairstyle. I'm thinking this is one of the hairstyles she'd like. What would she wear? I like this colors of this one. Every day I'm trying to see who are those people she would be, interacting with more regularly than others. Who are the, business associates, friends, who are those in more contact with that new me? So these are things I'm sitting and thinking about. And you know what? As I think about this, I see it changing the things I do because, for example, the hair. I know that if I don't do my hair, I keep thinking, my hair is untidy. This is not who I want to become. I don't want to be that girl who's always stressing, what do I do with my hair? No, put my hair in order and that's out of the way. Sometimes I have makeup on, sometimes I don't. I'm thinking, what's she like? Is she a makeup person? But I also like having good skin so that sometimes I choose to be au naturel. But anyway, let's not move too far away. But the important thing is, I believe that I am becoming that person. And because I believe it, I now change my words to say, I have become her. And when I say I have become her, I see how it's changing the things I do. I'm trying to have her hair, trying to have her face. I'm trying to dress like her, talk like her. Even my diction, I think she speaks well. She doesn't you know, so it keeps me up. It keeps me you know, proper in my communication, just because I'm looking at that Adeze that I want to be. And I'm finding that I'm gradually becoming her today. That is why when I read my goal, it says, I am so happy and grateful now that because I'm becoming her today. And because I believe it, I've played that perfectly legitimate trick on my subconscious mind. And it believes that I am her. So my job is to make myself her today as I convince my subconscious mind. By, you know, when I say, who are those people I talk to? Start gently, gradually seeking them out. And even if I'm not seeking them out, I'm discussing with them in my mind. I remember a part of Think and Grow Rich where Napoleon Hill is meeting with his mastermind. And his mastermind includes all these amazing dead people. Yeah, why not? You decide who's there. All the smart people, if you're into investment, all the great investors, even people that are alive. They have the Oracle of Omaha. He's in my mastermind. Yes, she is. And so many great people. I have Beyonce in my mastermind. I love that lady. But anyway, I love her for her work ethic. I like her for her, you know, for her faith in what she does. I love her for her success. So these are the things I want her to talk to me about. And when I'm sitting in that mastermind with her, I'm getting information. So yeah, my subconscious mind is handing me Beyonce's advice, and I'm taking them all in. Okay, we continue. So hand over the thoughts suggested in the preceding paragraph to your imagination and see what your imagination can or will do to create practical plans for the accumulation of money through transmutation of your desire. Do not wait for a definite plan through which you intend to exchange services or merchandise in return for the money you are visualizing, but begin at once to see yourself in possession of the money, demanding and expecting, meanwhile, that your subconscious mind would hand over the plan or the plans you need. Be on the alert for these plans, and when they appear, put them into action immediately. When the plans appear, they will probably flash into your mind through the sixth sense in the form of an inspiration. This inspiration may be considered a direct telegram or message from infinite intelligence. Treat it with respect and act upon it as soon as you receive it. Failure to do this will be fatal to your success. In the fourth of the 6 steps, you are instructed to create a definite plan for carrying out your desire and begin at once to put this plan into action. You should follow this instruction in the manner described in the preceding paragraph. Do not trust your reason when creating your plan for accumulating money through the transmutation of desire. Your reasoning is faulty. Moreover, your reasoning faculty may be lazy. And if you depend entirely upon it to serve you, it may disappoint you. When visualizing the money you intend to accumulate, with closed eyes, see yourself rendering the service or delivering the merchandise you intend to give in return for this money. This is important. I've spoken on this before. So now we're on to summary of instructions. The fact that you are reading this book is an indication that you earnestly seek knowledge. It is also an indication that you're a student of this subject. If you are only a student, there's a chance that you may learn much that you did not know, but you will learn only by assuming an attitude of humility. If you choose to follow some of the instructions, but neglect or refuse to follow others, you will fail. To get satisfactory results, you must follow all instructions in a spirit of faith. The instructions given in connection with the 6 steps in the 2nd chapter will now be summarized and blended with the principles covered by this chapter as follows. First, go into some quiet spot, preferably in bed at night, where you will not be disturbed or interrupted. Close your eyes and repeat aloud, so you may hear your own words. The written statement of the amount of money you intend to accumulate. the time limit for its accumulation, and the description of the service or merchandise you intend to give in return for the money. As you carry out these instructions, see yourself already in possession of the money. For example, suppose you intend to accumulate £50,000 by the 1st of January, 5 years hence, that you intend to give personal services in return for the money, in capacity of a salesman. Your written statement of purpose should be similar to the following. By the first day of January 20... I will have in my possession $50,000, I'll say pounds, which will come to me in various amounts from time to time during the interim. In return for this money, I will give the most efficient service of which I am capable, rendering the fullest possible quantity and the best possible quality of service in the capacity of salesman of ... Describe the service or merchandise you intend to sell. I believe that I will have this money in my possession. My faith is so strong that I can now see this money before my eyes. I can touch it with my hands. It is now awaiting transfer to me at the time and in the proportion that I deliver the service. I intend to render it and in the proportion that I deliver the service I intend to render in return for it. I am awaiting a plan by which to accumulate this money, and I will follow that plan when it is received. Second, repeat this program night and morning until you can see in your imagination the money you intend to accumulate. Third, place a written copy for your statement where you can see it night and morning, and read it just before retiring and upon arising until it has been memorized. Remember, as you carry out these instructions, that you're applying the principle of autosuggestion for the purpose of giving orders to your subconscious mind. Remember also that your subconscious mind will act only upon instructions which are emotionalized and handed over to it with feeling. Faith is the strongest and most productive of the emotions. Follow the instructions given in the chapter on faith. These instructions may at first seem abstract. Do not let this disturb you. Follow the instructions, no matter how abstract or impractical they may at first appear to be. The time will soon come if you do as you have been instructed in spirit as well as in act, when a whole new universe of power will unfold to you. Skepticism, in connection with all new ideas, is characteristic of all human beings. But if you follow the instructions outlined, your skepticism will soon be replaced by belief, and this in turn will soon become crystallized into absolute faith. Then you will have arrived at the point where you may truly say, I am the master of my fate, I am the captain of my soul. Many philosophers have made the statement that man is the master of his own earthly destiny, but most of them have failed to say why he is the master. The reason that man may be the master of his own earthly status, and especially his financial status, is thoroughly explained in this chapter. Man may become the master of himself and of his environment because he has the power to influence his own subconscious mind, and through it, gain the cooperation of infinite intelligence. You are now reading the chapter, which represents the keystone to the arch of this philosophy. The structures contained in this chapter may be understood and applied with persistence if you succeed in transmuting desire into money. The instructions contained in this chapter must be understood and applied with persistence if you succeed in transmuting desire into money. The actual performance of transmuting desire into money involves the use of autosuggestion as the agency by which one may reach and influence the subconscious mind. The other principles are simply tools with which to apply autosuggestion. Keep this thought in mind, and you will at all times be conscious of the important part the principle of autosuggestion is to play in your efforts to accumulate money through the methods described in this book. I actually highlighted this part where it says, the actual performance of transmitting desire into money involves the use of autosuggestion as the agency by which one may reach and influence the subconscious mind. Of course, we know what that means. By autosuggestion, we are able to reach and influence the subconscious mind. The performance of transmuting desire into money involves using autosuggestion as a huge form of reaching and influencing the subconscious mind. The other principles are simply tools with which to apply autosuggestion. So all the other principles in this book are tools to apply autosuggestion. I think that is deep. Can you read that again? I will. The actual performance of transmitting desire into money involves the use of autosuggestion as an agency by which one may reach and influence the subconscious mind. The other principles are simply tools with which to apply autosuggestion. Keep this thought in mind, and you will at all times be conscious of the important part the principle of autosuggestion is to play in your efforts to accumulate money through the method described in this book. Carry out these instructions as though you were a small child. Inject into your efforts something of the faith of a child. The author has been most careful to see that no impractical instructions were included because of his sincere desire to be helpful. After you've read the entire book, come back to this chapter and follow in spirit and in action this instruction. Read the entire chapter aloud once every night until you become thoroughly convinced that the principle of autosuggestion is sound, that it will accomplish for you all that has been claimed for it. As you read, underscore with a pencil every sentence which impresses you favorably. I'm using a pen. Follow the foregoing instructions to the letter, and it will open the way for a complete understanding and mastery of the principles of success. Seriously, I won't stand here and tell you that I'm reading this at night because it's said at night. I'm reading this at night because that's how I was able to shuffle my day, and this is fitting in at night. But now I'm thinking of it. I'm getting, sleep is there, singing time, come to me. And if this is what I'm thinking about while I'm sleeping, I think I'm good. So I quite like the idea that I'm reading this in the evening. And with that, we come to the end of our meeting today. I shall see you tomorrow. Even though I said I may not be recording and posting over the weekend. We'll see. We'll see. Because I quite like the way it goes day 1, day 2, day 3. 6th is day 6. I like to see day 7, day 8. So we'll see how tomorrow goes. This Saturday is looking busy, but till then, have a good time. Live your dream. Build your dream. Yeah. Should find a good slogan. I'll find one by tomorrow. Good night.